Hello everyone, and welcome to the latest installment of Am I the Asshole? If you're a fan of Reddit stories, it would greatly support the channel if you could like or subscribe. Without further ado, let's dive into our first story. Am I the asshole for making my boyfriend's mom cry because of a petty rule? So me, 21 female, and my boyfriend, 24 male, have been together for almost 2 years and live together. His mother is very involved in his life, some might say overbearing, but I try to be respectful. She's nice, but has this way of pushing boundaries while acting like she means well. So the issue, I have a no shoes in the house rule. My boyfriend is cool with it, all my friends do it, no problem. But his mom refuses. She claims it's rude to ask guests to take their shoes off, and that it makes her feel disrespected. I've tried explaining that it's just a cleanliness thing, but she won't budge. Last weekend she came over and surprise, surprise, walked in with her shoes on. I very politely, I swear, said, "Oh, can you take them off, please?" She kind of huffs and is like, "You're really gonna make me do this?" And I just stood there waiting. She sighs dramatically, takes them off, and spends the whole visit sulking. Then later I get a text from my boyfriend's dad saying I made her cry, and she feels like I'm trying to assert dominance over her in her son's home. Our home, actually. My boyfriend is on my side, but now his parents are acting like I've disrespected the Queen of England. Am I the asshole for standing my ground on a very normal rule? Not the asshole. If your boyfriend is aligned, how's he handling the situation? I'd expect him to call them and shut it down. The dad shouldn't be attacking you, and your boyfriend should be standing up for you. It sounds like he agrees, but what's he doing to solve the issue? Hez pretty nonchalant about it, understands she's overbearing and rude, but annoyingly doesn't share my frustration with her attitude. Then you need to make it his problem as well. Tell him how upset you are, how disrespected you feel that she can't follow this one simple rule, and that actually, given the dad's words, it seems like her refusing is her attempt to assert dominance of you in your own home, even down to them saying it's her son's home. Explain to him that you have put up with enough at this point, and either he steps in and shuts it down, or she's not welcome in the house. You'll start handling it, and it won't be by being nice. Nip this in the bud, unless you want it to get worse, basically. You said you try and be respectful? Stop that. She doesn't deserve the level of respect you're giving her. Respect is earned and mutual. Not the asshole. She is going out of her way to guilt you into letting her disrespect your home. Buy some of those shoe covers they wear to crime scenes, or put plastic grocery bags by the door and ask her to cover her shoes inside the home. Otherwise, you can just offer an outside visit and she can keep her shoes on. Ha ha ha, man, tell her to never come to Canada, or probably a lot of other countries for that matter. Shoes are for outside. Am I the asshole for not explicitly stating my punch is non-alcoholic? I, 25 female, recently attended a potluck-style work party and brought punch, which has since caused a problem between myself and another coworker, 42 female, who we'll call Sandy. Last week, my boss hosted a party at his house to celebrate the end of the busy season, and a job well done. All of my coworkers and their spouses were invited, and we decided it would work well to do a potluck to offset the cost of feeding everyone. About 35 people, since not everyone who came brought a spouse or significant other. I volunteered to make a punch that I've brought to previous work events that everyone said they enjoyed, as well as some fruit to go with it. This was a casual party with alcohol present, but since I have some coworkers who don't drink, I didn't add any alcohol to this punch, and figured that if people really wanted some, they'd just add it themselves. Fast forward a couple hours, and Sandy is getting even louder and more dramatic than normal, and is stumbling around the party. I didn't think much of it and figured she brought her own drinks, or was adding some of the host's alcohol that was put out into something else. She suddenly fell off the chair she was sitting on, and made a big show of saying that it's because she was so drunk. She then asked me, in front of the rest of our coworkers, what it was that I put in the punch. I was confused and told her what was in it, just a mix of ginger ale, 7-Up, orange juice, and a can of juice concentrate. And she wanted to know what alcohol I put in it, because she's been drinking it all night and is really feeling it. I told her that I didn't put any alcohol in it and asked if maybe someone else had spiked the punch bowl. Nobody said they added anything, and one of my coworkers who doesn't drink even said that they'd also been drinking the punch all evening and was still completely sober. I also would like to clarify that I understand how context can matter. Like if everyone else was really drunk, then that can make even a sober person feel like they're loaded, but that definitely was not the vibe. Sandy was the only person acting drunk. She then got really quiet and went by herself to the bathroom. The rest of my coworkers and I exchanged some awkward glances and tried to laugh it off. She left shortly after, and I received an angry text from her about how I shouldn't have embarrassed her like that, and that now she looks like an idiot in front of our bosses and the rest of our coworkers. She's been hostile to me at work ever since and is basically refusing to talk to me. I didn't think I did anything wrong, and most of my coworkers agree with me, but some say that I should have just let her go on thinking that the punch was alcoholic to save her the embarrassment, and I'm wondering now if I'm in the wrong. Am I the asshole? Of course you're not the asshole. Sandy was experiencing a placebo effect, not uncommon when people truly believe they are drinking alcohol. That's embarrassing, but it's not your fault. The truly a-hole thing to do would be to let people believe an alcoholic punch was alcohol-free. That could really harm someone. If she makes your life hard over this, you're going to have to take it to management for mediation. It's a ridiculous thing to hold against you in the office place. Yes, this placebo effect has been shown in studies. I'm gonna have to just say that without backup because I read about it maybe 20 plus years ago and found it fascinating. Basically, people not infrequently feel drunk if they believe they have been drinking alcohol. The brain is wild. How would it be any less embarrassing if the punch actually was alcoholic? Either way, it means Sandy doesn't have the sense to limit or moderate her drinking in front of her bosses and coworkers at work party. Not the asshole. This is my favorite response. Sandy looked like a dumbass either way, and in a work context, neither are funny. Okay, I think what happened is a little funny, but not the asshole. The reason that she looks like an idiot in front of our bosses and the rest of our coworkers is because she behaved like one and then tried to throw you under the bus for her behaviors. Not the asshole. Sandy is a drama queen, and her goal was to embarrass you and start trouble for you with the bosses. Don't feel a bit sorry for her that it backfired in her face. Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the books? I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.